is. I just don't remember it.
Hey, welcome to GeekStorm, everybody. I'm Mitch Gray, and this is my good buddy, Sean Hilton.
Hi, everybody.
We are located in fabulous 111 West Sycamore at Kokomo Toys. East Sycamore. Crap, it is East Sycamore.
Yeah.
We're on this side of Main Street.
I get people in the store all the time looking for an address that's the wrong address.
The wrong address?
All the time. Like almost.
There's no E on the sign when I could look up at it. I was trying to remember. I was like, I don't remember which side of Main Street I'm on.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
I believe Main Street's the breaker.
We got it all fixed. Don't forget the Kokomo Carters coming up Saturday.
When's that?
Saturday, October 12th from 10 to 5. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. We've got.
I hear you have some special guests.
We got the Silver Power Ranger coming in from Power Rangers in Space, Zane. Justin Nemo's going to be
bringing a helmet?
signing. I believe he does actually bring a helmet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does he have a? What is his weapon? What is his weapon of choice?
I don't know. I have to admit, the Power Rangers were not my generation, so I would have thought they would have been closer to your generation, to be honest. So are you too old for that too?
I don't remember.
So
I mean, I remember Power.
Did no one get into it?
Yeah, we watched. All three of my kids really got into one that was already over, Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Oh,
so
Dinos!
I had watched Power Rangers Dino Charge, I believe, in its entirety twice.
Wow. It doesn't matter. So he's going to be there. He's going to be charging like $20 for him to sign stuff. Yeah. So you can bring something for him to sign. So if you've got your own Power Rangers items or something cool, posters, pictures, whatever you want, it's like $20.
Like action figure?
Yeah.
Do they have any action figures here?
I don't know. I was going to ask him about that.
That would have been a great toy. That would have been better than Ross.
And it would have been cool. And then I think for $30, you can get something signed and get a picture with him. Kind of a thing. So
I like to do the prom photos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Then we got Glenn Means, who's a UFO expert. Used to be the leader of MUFON, Indiana, and some other stuff. I didn't know much about him, but man, I'll tell you what, people are hyped. I had no clue.
Man, I'm telling you, that is a hot genre right now.
Oh, absolutely. Funny story.
William Shatner is going to the new UFO con.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's been to the last two.
What's he do there? Does he just
talk?
Yeah,
he talks, and
that's funny.
He's into it because he also is doing a new show on
UFOs.
Yeah, on UFO, or I think it's an unexplained phenomenon.
So we've been.
He has a Christmas album coming out, a new Christmas album.
A new Christmas album?
I believe it's a new Christmas album coming out.
I did not know that.
So I can't wait to hear the smooth lyrical stylings of Shatner.
Oh, Shatner-esque speech. That is awesome. So a lot of stories over the years because we've been doing GeekStorm now. There was actually a predecessor to GeekStorm. I don't even remember what we called it. It's been that long. But before that, me and Mike did something, and then we came over. We've done GeekStorm. This is up to like 260 episodes.
200 episodes?
Something, we're getting closer to 300, really.
No. That's a 100 difference.
It's a lot. I don't know. Somebody else counts these things because I admit I don't count. But over the years, we've had some like weird stories happen. And so I've been out in public, and people are like, hey, you're that guy. And honestly, because GeekStorm
I've
is
been on
not
far fewer episodes, and I randomly get that.
I mean, GeekStorm's not my life. I mean, I'm the comic guy. That's my life, and that's what I'm used to. So when people start talking, I always assume it's comics, and then they'll start going on about something, and I'm like completely confused because I'm like, I have no clue what they are talking about. And then it takes a minute, like, oh, wait. And then they go, from the TV show. And I'm like, I've actually, on occasion, been like, what TV show? And like, wait,
someone filmed me?
I did that, don't I? So we've had people do that. I think you might have been with me. We were in a Walmart once, and a guy was following us for a minute, and it got a little weird because I'm like, dude, I think this dude's actually following us. And so we ducked down some aisle, and he finally came around and was like, hey, are you the guy from the show? And I'm like, again, what are you talking about? And I'm like, wait, oh yeah. That's,
and then Sean maced him, and it was real.
Son, get him.
Stranger danger.
Roll 20, see if we hit. But I had one guy once, and it might have been even with Mike around, walk into the comic book store and get upset. Like, you could tell he was beyond annoyed. He was upset that we didn't cover more UFO stuff in GeekStorm and thought that's what we needed to be doing. And I was like, well, it's nothing against that stuff. It's just that, and I can understand where the name GeekStorm you might think but me and Mike don't have any expertise, knowledge, or thing about GeekStorm's about pop culture
so we need UFO Minute
and stuff. Yeah, and I'm like,
UFO Minute.
but he was mad. And then of course I screwed up. And usually I'm pretty good at reading the situation, but no, he didn't have, he was not only annoyed, but then he didn't have a sense of humor because then I made a joke about it. And wrong thing to do.
You failed your sense motive.
Oh, I did. I did. He went from hostile to I'm about to
belligerent?
eat your liver. It was bad. So now I take it a little more seriously. People do watch it; they're interested in it, and I think it's cool. And it's very exciting to have him because the amount of attention we got, crazy. Like I'm shocked at how many people were like super jazzed because I've never heard of it before.
Should invite him on to an episode of GeekStorm.
Well, he's not from here. He's coming in from like Florida.
Wow.
He's flying in. So yeah, this is a guy from out of town, and so it's very cool. Very excited about it. Looking forward to it. So Justin Nemo, the Silver Power Ranger from space. Glenn Means, I believe is his name. UFO Experts coming in, and he's only going to be at the show for like 2 hours.
And who is? Wow, that's so get in there and get it.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to be there from like 10 to noon because he's got another engagement.
Who is your? Who's the artist of the
Bringing
year?
in a couple. Really excited. We're bringing Stuart Sager in, who's been in a couple of times, but Stuart's a great artist, and Stuart's been doing really well even before we had him into the show, like 10 years ago.
I think you were the ones that made him big.
But since then, he's definitely blown up. Like he's doing G.I. Joe covers. He's doing a ton of the Kiss, the rock band covers. He has to get his stuff approved. Like Gene Simmons has to approve his covers. He's doing those. He's doing like an exclusive cover for the Kiss. They're doing a convention in Indiana. He's doing like the exclusive cover for that. He's also doing an exclusive Joker cover that's going to come out like a week before the show, and we've got the movie coming out.
Okay.
So he's got like 2 or 3 Joker covers that he's doing that
cool.
look amazing. So this is going to be like the public's first opportunity to pick up some of these covers, and they look superb. So very, very excited to have Stuart joining us again. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. A lot of artists are joining up. Dan Dougherty's returning. Gavin Smith, who's a con favorite, he's returning, and people are very excited to see him. He's going to have
several pieces of his art over the years from his.
And you can see where it's grown.
You can see. Yeah. Before I think he was just out of high school.
Yep.
I think I have a piece from then and seeing that to now. I mean, Gavin, you're a great artist, but you can definitely see your progression as you went
from owning the one that you put on the refrigerator to the one you would put in the frame.
Yeah,
it's
kind of cool because I've seen him for years.
So yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on for that, and then we have the charity auction the night before, which is going to be Friday, October 11th. The silent auction will be at 7 p.m. at Wings Etc. And then at 8 p.m. the live auction part will go. So we'll have that all set up for a silent auction. You can write your stuff down like you do normally. Then at 8 o'clock we pull all the items to a live crowd right then and there, and we start the bidding at whatever that last number is. So if nobody bids, then you win it as a silent auction. However, if you've got a signed picture of the guy who plays Hodor from the Game of Thrones, I think we have a signed autograph from him this year. So, if it's $100 and you want it, you can, live bid it up.
Now, is it a picture of him being Hodor, or is it a picture of him being a DJ?
He's a DJ. I believe it's him being Hodor. Oh. So, there's a lot of pictures. Mark Instrom's in charge of that, so that's cool. Done a bunch of interviews for it lately. People have been really cool. So, very excited. The Kokomo Con is probably our biggest geek pinnacle of the year. So, getting to hang out and talk to people about that is always fun, exciting, and something, of course, that I absolutely love. So very cool stuff going on.
So what else have you been up to? What have you watched this week?
I've watched quite a bit of stuff. New television starting, so we're going to be, I'm sure, chiming in on new television. I watched something called Bless This Mess, which is Dax Shepard doing a situation comedy.
So there's Little Green Acres.
It's like Green Acres meets 2016 with hippies or hipsters instead of socialites. Okay. It's fun. It's got Pam Grier in it, Ed Begley Jr., Dax Shepard, and I honestly don't remember who the lead female is with Dax Shepard's wife, but a lot of fun, silly stuff, So I enjoyed that. A lot of it. We got a lot of new stuff, but unfortunately, it's on my DVR. I haven't quite got the chance to watch it yet. So looking forward. Caught up on AP Bio. Have you ever seen that?
I've not seen that at all.
Stars one of the guys from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's the guy. He's like a poet or
he is
something.
A philosopher.
There you go. So I knew it was something.
Teacher, professor from Yale or Harvard.
And
he always talks about it. He loses
okay.
his job, ends up in
right.
Toledo, Ohio, teaching AP Bio. But the joke is he doesn't teach.
Yeah.
He just goes in, sits down, and he's like, yeah, I'll pass you. I'll just go along with it because I'm not teaching any of this.
Okay.
And so it's every week is like a revenge fantasy. And him coming up and having the kids help him out with like revenge stuff. Well, it went through season 2, and they're only like 10 episodes. Patton Oswalt's in it.
Okay.
It's very, very funny. But it basically got canceled, and then it got picked up. It was one of these strange things where they broke down the numbers, and they're like, well, the actual live numbers are really, really not very good. And somebody broke down and figured out that, yes, live it does horrible. Viewed on DVR and recorded, it was doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're like, so they found the demographic was like that 18 to 30-year-old male who records stuff and then watch it whenever they get a chance, which is exactly what I do.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting. So it's been picked up, I think, by a streaming service.
They absolutely have to change the you can't go off
the
live
Nielsen
view.
rating?
Yeah, the Nielsen box does not make sense anymore for live views.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I don't watch anything live I can think of. I'm sure there's something here and there. I watched Game of Thrones.
The closest I get now, and this is the year 2019, so this tells you how it works, is if I'm really, really eager to see something, I'll have it recording on my DVR. I'll let it go for, depending on if it's a 30-minute or an hour, I'll let it go for 20 minutes and then start watching it.
So you can fast forward the commercials.
So, yes. And so we watched season 2/season 3 of The Connors. Mm-hmm. We watched that way because I wanted to see that. And it was interesting. I watch a lot of stuff on Hulu and other stuff, and I really like that platform because, again, I don't get a bunch of crap. Well, during the live thing, I had 2 or 3 times where things would kind of fritz for a second, and I don't have satellite. I've got just pure cable, but for whatever reason, it still kind of fritzed a little. And I'm like, man, there's a reason I like watching this stuff now via Hulu and stuff because none of that happens.
All right. So I watched this week recommended by the guys here at
the Katie Sackhoff thing.
Yep, Another Life.
Now, did you watch? It's a series on Netflix.
Series on Netflix.
How many episodes do you think?
I think it's 10 episodes, I believe.
Did you get all the way through?
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Wow.
I watched a lot of.
Because that's it's an hour long one. So okay.
Well, I think it's 46 minutes.
I got you.
So
yeah.
52
in America,
like
that's an hour long of television.
So I watched all of that. It was very entertaining. Decent little sci-fi show. Definitely some plot holes in it that I found it hard to wrap my head around.
Okay.
But so it's kind of neat how it's filmed, and I believe the husband that is left on Earth is the bad husband from the guy. He's big mobster type guy, kills a bunch of people. Blacklist.
Okay.
If you watched any of that, like the first couple seasons, the good husband, I'm almost positive that's him. So it was a little weird seeing that, loving husband, and I was like, he's gonna kill someone. He's gonna betray you. For season one. He had
his own TV series for a hot minute because they spun that character off into a spy show.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, and I think it went like 6 episodes. I think Famke Janssen might have been in that, but it didn't last.
Yeah, so there's technology that they have on this spaceship they send, such as little contact-esque where probe lands. They've been studying it and decide that they figure out it's sending a transmission. They've had no interaction with it. The probe's not done anything good, bad, or the other. It's just been there. And
sending back data.
So they send this crew to go make contact, and then everybody on Earth continues to try to contact. Also, some of Blair's in it.
Okay.
Yep. So the husband stays behind. He's the head scientist, and his wife, Katie Sackhoff, is leading the mission.
She's the captain.
She's the captain. But the technology you see on the spaceship doesn't ever seem to reflect the technology level that is on Earth.
Is the spaceship better?
Yeah,
or is
it's
far better.
Yeah, it just not like crazy far, but there's tech there that just it seems like the Earth is behind. The only thing they have is the 3D. Essentially, iMessage, essentially, or FaceTime. Huh. So it's they have the hologram thing. That's on both sides, but then the rest of it.
Did it have closure at the end of 10 episodes, or was it obviously meant to?
No, yeah, definitely. Continuing? Yeah, it looks meant to be continued. There's all sorts of cliffhanger stuff.
Yeah,
it hasn't.
I'm not going to watch that.
It hasn't been renewed yet.
I was going to say that's the thing is like Netflix recently has not been renewing everything.
Yep, so
they've now starting to get a little more picky. I don't know if the budget's a little tighter. They have so many shows, but things are definitely not getting picked up all the time. And now I'm leery of anything on Netflix that doesn't have a conclusion. And it ticks me off because it's Netflix.
Yeah.
This is the one thing where you guys could easily just make a final episode. Going, you know what? We canceled it. We understand we left all this crap hanging. It's not necessarily going to be the best ending because we are going to cram it all into like a 15-minute episode, but we're going to give you something to end cap this. You can accept it or you don't have to, and you can live with the fact that there's just a giant cliffhanger.
Yeah, I think Kay Sakoff said it or something. I read that they had enough stuff to easily do 3 seasons.
Okay.
Of what they have.
Because I don't think the reviews have been great on this one.
Like I said, there's definitely whoever. My other big qualm would be whoever decided to pick the crew to send on this diplomatic mission.
Just chose the wrong crew.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of questions I have about like who's in charge of staff.
What was really going on?
But I guess generations just keep getting worse or something. I don't know.
Wow.
And so it was the best of what we had.
Okay.
And I was like, oh.
Well, more and more stuff is coming out for CW's Arrowverse crossover.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Lex isn't going to be on it, though.
He's decided for whatever reason he's not doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's got a good reason, but he's like the only person not coming back at
Well,
this point.
There's the blonde she's not coming back.
Who's the blonde?
Was she
Supergirl?
Lana? No, not. I think it was
Lana?
Lana.
Liz?
What was the little blonde girl? Lana Lane?
I didn't watch
Smallville either.
Neither did it. But I know they got.
She's in jail,
Tom
so she's not
Welling
going.
Oh, Chloe.
Chloe? Okay, I was like, I don't
She's
know.
in the sex cult.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think head. Like one of the head.
Yes, she
top
was
two
like
people.
a recruiter for it. Or something.
So I imagine they're not going to let her out to film a scene.
So yeah, Chloe probably won't be back unless there's some weird flashback. But they're adding more and more people to it. The biggest one I just heard is now it's believed that Linda Carter is going to reprise her role as Wonder Woman.
Oh, really?
Now, she has shown up in Supergirl as like the President of the United States of America.
Okay.
But the rumor now is Tom Welling, I think is his name for Superman, will be returning as
putting the suit back on.
Well, he never put the suit on, really.
Putting the suit on once. I thought he put it on once in the show.
At the very end, he just does the whole.
On.
He just does the whole shirt open, and he's got the S, and that's as much as you ever saw, I believe. There might have been like a flash thing, but you didn't really see anything. So if they do see him in the suit, that'll be the first time. Brandon Routh, who was the Flash or the Superman in the movie that didn't go anywhere, he's going to be Superman. I have not heard about Dean Cain. That's the one that they're talking about because he wasn't involved in ECW stuff. But they're bringing all these other people back, and honestly, if you've seen what Dean Cain's been doing recently, this really wouldn't be bad for his,
Yeah, he could do it.
His paycheck wouldn't be bad, I'm sure.
You might be able to get Lois from that, too.
Maybe.
What's her name? She was in Desperate Housewives.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Not geeky enough for us. Hatcher?
Terry Hatcher.
So there's a Black Lightning has now been brought into it. They've said the last 2 seasons Black Lightning wasn't involved in the crossover. Now all of a sudden he's coming over into it.
All the way back to the Birds of Prey show.
I saw that. That was the other one we were going to bring up. Is that one of the original Birds of Prey that they did? I don't know, 15 years ago or so. They're going to bring them in. So if it's been on television and they can get a touch on it, they're trying to bring somebody back for it. And now there's talk of
Real sad Adam West then.
Yeah,
he absolutely would have done that.
I
would have watched it then.
If you get Burt Ward,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff. So that's looking better and better. I'm like 2 or 3 seasons now behind on my CW superhero-y stuff.
Never watched it.
But I'll probably watch this. They're probably going to get me to DVR the hell out of this one. So I don't know if it's a 5-night adventure or what they're doing.
Is it the whole season?
No, it's not. I think it's going to be pretty early on too, because at this point they've got so many people attached to it, and they've already announced them all. So should be pretty interesting.
Cool.
We did have a death this week. Aaron
Carter.
No, I can't. I don't remember. Played Nog in DS9.
Oh, yes,
the first Ferengi to join Starfleet,
yeah.
And a very popular character who was only on a handful of episodes. I think he was on like 40 some episodes out of the entire 7 seasons. but had some of the best character growth from
Yeah.
being a child to actually, being Starfleet and
Making that
first
ensign
Ferengi,
money.
making that ensign money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Aaron, and beloved on the convention
circuit,
circuit.
yeah.
He was, I'm sure he was making a good living from
Yeah.
it. Fans loved him, and he did some great interactions and stuff. I was watching a YouTube video of him and the guy who played his father, Rom, and they were dressed in
Yeah.
Ferengi stuff and pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw a couple of those pictures.
It wasn't like ready to be on screen for the show, but for a cosplay contest or something, they were going to win.
Yeah.
And they were going back and forth talking about the show, and they had a whole pitter, jokes, and patter, and that whole stuff, and it was really, really good. So, and he was only 50 years old, so that is, as I'm now 47, that's not that old. And
Happy birthday, Sean.
Hey, thanks, buddy. But so yeah, it's kind of sad when we start seeing some of these.
Yeah.
I expect something like David Prowse or Shatner and some of these older guys. You expect
Shatner's
eventually-
outliving everybody.
He might. Him and Keith Richards are going to hang out at the end together. Just toasting the end of the world as it all falls apart and the robots and the cockroaches are taking over.
And we think of Immortals or Highlander. And
Those are the two that haven't come together yet.
something, I don't know.
Here we are.
But hey, we read stuff this week.
He did. But I got this Shatner and Keith Richards' swords fighting it out now. Lightsaber sounds in the background.
Wait, what?
It's gonna be great.
All right, we'll make that movie.
Is so awesome. We
When's
did
that
we read some comics. I didn't actually read this one or this one. I read this one and Relics of Youth.
Okay, I didn't read Relics
and
of Youth.
Avengers and New Mutants. So we got plenty of stuff
Wait,
to talk
well,
about.
hey, we both read about this one. So,
We did. This is a
what
brand
you
new
think of
comic
this
from
one?
Marvel, Strike Force #1. An interesting and eclectic team, kind of some darker characters. And some that aren't necessarily known for being dark. Blade, obviously, is the big guy.
I'll be honest,
He
there's a
is-
couple characters I did not know who they were.
That's fine. And honestly, it took me a minute to figure out some of them myself. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Blade, Winter Soldier, Jessica Drew, who's Spider-Woman. Those are some of your three. Spectrum, who was Captain Marvel, who was Photon. She's on there. She's had to change her name several times as different Captain Marvels keep stealing her name. Angela, who's been retconned into the Marvel Universe, actually started in Image Comics with Spawn. Neil Gaiman created her. Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane got into a fight, and Neil won. Even though that Angela character appeared in Todd's comic, he ended up getting the rights and then gave it to Marvel. And then Marvel rolled it into the Thor universe.
Yeah.
So she's now the oldest, I believe, the oldest sibling of Freya. So she is like the older sister to Thor and Loki. So that was kind of cool. You get, I believe his name is Wiccan, who shows up in the Young Avengers. That's probably the character you didn't know most, because even I was like, who's that?
I had no clue that was.
And then Damien Hellstrom shows up at the very, very end.
Yeah.
And it deals with some interesting stuff, some stuff related to the Asgardian stuff,
Mythos,
shape changers,
The shapeshifter.
and things like that. It was okay.
I'd agree with it. It was okay. Several things I didn't understand.
Yeah, that whole scene there, with them doing the whole
This first
toast.
page, I feel like it doesn't really.
Yeah, I didn't really get that one.
I didn't get that. And then why all of the Avengers just bowed to Blade.
Yeah, so Blade comes up and he's like, hey, I'm going to handle this. And it's T'Challa, it's Tony, it's Captain America, it's
Captain
Carol,
Marvel,
Captain
and
Marvel.
Danvers.
These are like the heavy hitters
Yeah.
right now.
And they're like,
Everybody's there, but
okay, Blade,
everybody's there but Thor.
take all of those people.
We've captured all of these like pretty. All right, let's be honest. We've captured all these B-list Avengers.
Yeah.
And they were getting a little uppity.
But I mean,
and
they're
we caught 'em.
soups.
Sure.
And we caught them and seemingly red-handed.
Yeah,
in
they were
this
doing
thing.
bad things.
And
Blade's like, I got this. And they're like, okay.
then it's like, next thing you know, they're adventuring.
Yeah, they're just,
and
like,
then
he snuck them out. They're gone. He walks into a room, like cuts all the security devices, and like, we've just lost visual. Yeah, well, you didn't see the guy with the sword? Looks like, no, you didn't see that.
there's
Tony T'Challa, maybe you need to upgrade the security.
a lot of weird things that was. I mean, comics is a suspension of belief of what's possible, but in the world of what's in the Avengers and Marvel comics, there was definitely several things I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
There are a lot of leaps and things going on.
Like I said, you find out at the end that it ties into the Asgardians with some of the shape changers from the Dark Time or whatever. I would have rather have seen there be a build and a little bit of even if it was next issue.
Yeah, there'd be a mystery of what was going on. Instead, we all know what's going on.
Yeah. We instantly. I would have rather have then us been trying to prove, hey, these.
So my question is are they the real deal, or are some of them shape changers?
I mean, I don't know. They supposedly ran all those tests. They're not Skrulls. They're not blah blah blah. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I guess they didn't test for Asgardian
shape changers,
3-time shape changers. But so yeah, I had some questions about it. The art was absolutely fine, I thought.
It's an interesting team. I like the makeup of this. What feels almost like a Defenders kind of a team.
Yeah. I got the Defenders feel, but. I don't know. I would check out the next issue. I'm not necessarily sold on the whole Strike Force team. I
can tell you that in my store, it is sold very, very poorly,
Okay.
And that surprised me. I ordered more copies than probably usual, and for it to kind of bomb surprised me. I thought it was better than seeing it bomb. If this had come out in the 90s, it probably would have been a hit. But yeah, now
I
there's
did
just so
enjoy
much
there
product
is a
out.
Blade flashback scene to original Blade. Fairly original Blade, but kind of a take on it. But I enjoyed that little
him with his
two
fro
panel,
and
his
the V-cut shirts.
His 2 pages
before
of
Wesley
flashback.
Snipes.
Flashback there.
You used to have bulbous sunglasses too. You used to have these weird visor-like sunglasses.
So I don't know. I would see just to see what they're going to do, or if it's as literally straightforward as it appears to be.
I hope not. That part, if they don't do some twists, they're gonna lose some people. And then, did you read the after article, or did you skip that? She gives the writer gives a letter.
I guess I didn't read the after article.
That was a little cheesy.
I'm
like,
I didn't read that.
The one thing that interests me about this, though, the writer does a whole page write-up on the last page, but out of it, there is out of the blue. There are 2 letters that are a different color in one word.
Oh, is it a mystery? Do we have to?
I would have to think it is, because it doesn't make any sense any other way.
Right there.
There's just 2 letters that are a different color, and it's very obvious. They're the only 2 that I noticed. Now, I am a little colorblind, so if there was a slight difference in other colors or words, I would not have seen that. That one was pretty...
I like how you kindly said you were a little colorblind.
I'm a little colorblind. So yeah, I'm going to actually, the bigger mystery for me right now is the ER that is colored in red for some reason.
I found this at the end was helpful to me.
Would that have been better if it had been at the beginning?
Would have been better if it was at the beginning, because I gotta be honest, I didn't know Spectrum and Wiccan. I had no clue who they were. I thought that was actually Static Shock.
Did you see the Captain Marvel movie yet?
Yeah.
That her partner, the
she's Spectrum.
That is who that Monica. That's who she is.
Not a thing.
All right, so you actually, I didn't get to read this because we sold out.
Oh, really?
So how was it? Because actually, I'm going to take that back and I'm going to read that. Probably the first thing I'm going to do today.
Okay, so
this I got to read that plot from Vault Comics, and Vault is a new company that's been kind of coming on. They're putting some money out there and they're doing some fun stuff.
So while how this one gave seemingly everything away by the end of the first issue, didn't give very much away at all in this one. I wish my big thing is I wish it would have given me just a hint of something more. I very much dug the artwork. I dig the pulp look to the
So
front.
that is a Bernie Wrightson cover from the very first appearance of Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Redone.
Okay.
If you were to find the first appearance of Swamp Thing, it's that cover.
Oh, so I did not know.
Obviously, again, redone. That would have been Swamp Thing. This is another woman.
Okay. But the creature is in the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Very, very story-driven mystery. It looks like it's going to revolve around the family or this lineage, and you don't really know much about it except for a saying that's handed down from the...
A saying?
Yeah, well, pretty much like the family motto.
Be seeing you.
Yeah, essentially, that's it. Be seeing you, and they all die. It's real weird.
I'm eager to read this.
You have to give before you take.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I am very interested to read the next one. Like I said, I think for a lot of people, with how you want instant gratification when you, or some kind of bigger hook, I don't feel like there's a big thing that happens at the end. I don't want to ruin it because this one is actually all based around that, but there's not kind of a hook of a thing that tells you what exactly gives you any idea of grasp of what's kind of going on.
Okay.
But very interesting artwork is, like I said, I very much enjoyed the artwork in it.
Okay. Looking forward to it. I really want to read that one. I said I'm going to go back to the store
I advise it.
and think about some lunch and probably read that.
All right. So what was the other one that you read?
I read a book called Relics of Youth.
It would look like this.
Was lackluster. Lackluster. I can't remember who was. It might have been Vault. I'm not sure.
That's the blue covered one that you didn't give.
I think so.
Okay.
Basically, you've got your teenage kids, mostly 16 years old.
Okay.
All of them have a mysterious tattoo on them. They've all had weird dreams of an island. They eventually, one of them puts them all together, gets in contact, and they go out
With their
on
tattoos
a boat.
combined, they are
yes.
Okay.
Well, not when they get the tattoos all together, they start to glow, and then the tattoos seem to turn into a compass. Like the tattoos physically start to move on their bodies as they're close to the ocean. One of them is a trust fund kid that's got a yacht.
Were they born with the tattoos, or they just appeared?
That's what they don't say.
Okay.
We don't know.
So
they make their way out to this island on a yacht, and it turns out it's a Bermuda Triangle. And then all of a sudden, you've got this teenager. I don't want to say Stranger Things because they're a little younger, but you get this like CW vibe of the teenagers, then mixed with Lost.
Okay.
With the whole Bermuda Triangle, and they go exploring on the island once they get there. And of course, they find the old pirate galleon, Spanish galleon ship washed up, being grown over, which is a great visual. It's one of my favorite visuals from Lost, was when they walk out in the middle of the land, they see this giant ship overgrown. Same exact scene kind of a thing. Then they travel a little further, they find like a little village, and then at the very end, mercenaries show up and start like, we found the island, and then mysterious stuff. And so it felt very much like a bad CW meets Lost, meets, a bunch of younger kids.
So we have that comic, and then we have Netflix Island.
Island, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, Islands seem to be popping up again.
As I was reading the Relics, I was like, all right, this has got potential. It could be really good. And then, it really got to the point where the characters seem pretty cookie cutter stereotypes. One kid's got cancer, but he's the up and goer. One seems to be a young. She's younger. She's 15, not 16, and she is being treated like the kid. One is getting ready to try and join the military, and he's got a family tradition. It looks like West Point. And he even mentions like ROTC or something in one of his lines. Another kid's trust fund kid, so he's just super rich. One was a child actress. And I'm just like, check boxes, man. We just check all this off. So
Was there a skipper?
No, there wasn't. No, it was because, the skipper would have to have been one of the kids.
No.
The Tomorrow People or something, and that wasn't going to work out for him. So, it's.
Will you read the next issue?
If it comes in and I've got to use the bathroom, I got to take something with me so I don't get bored. Yeah, but
Not one you grab.
No, not going to grab that one. And I did all the way through it. I'm giving it the benefit of a doubt. I'm like, all right, I can see some stuff. I could possibly.
How's the art in it, at least?
I'll give it a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10.
All right. Well,
none of it, nothing about the entire book, sent it to the next level. None of it.
Okay.
And then you got Harleen.
I did get Harleen. I read this, which actually was my favorite thing I read this week.
Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Oversized format, and the artwork's beautiful.
The artwork is absolutely amazing in the entire book. It is.
I think it's the writer and the artist is like a combined package. I think it's all by Sejic.
Cedric, yep. The writing in it is, I think, really good. The story, so this is the story of Dr. Harleen Quinzel, leading up to how she essentially became Harley Quinn.
Okay.
So it actually starts, the start of this book 1 is before she had even met the Joker, before she worked at Arkham at all. Where she was just had her study or practice. I don't think she's not.
So it's following her personal life.
Yep, following her
As a
personal life.
normal human being, being a doctor, psychology.
It starts off with like the teaser of what you're going to get into, of like, it's a lot of her talking to herself, inner monologue, and it, not necessarily talking to herself, but it has some great imagery. The only thing I don't like is I'm not as big a fan of this Joker artwork.
He definitely looks a little.
It's not my favorite Joker artwork I've seen.
Just in that picture, he looks very feminine.
Yeah.
Or androgynous. He doesn't look like the Joker we've come to know and love. And I don't know if that's just Stepjock's style or if that's a chosen thing.
Yeah, I would say almost a more anime Joker.
I can see that. I mean,
that's what he looks like to me, and it's weird. That part's the only weird thing, which sets him apart than everything else, because everybody else looks like really well drawn, normal.
It looks like it would have taken some time to read too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an $8 book. I mean, it's oversized.
It's got a lot of wordage, but the story of her kind of getting in this book, she kind of gets to Arkham, and then she talks. Is her first conversation with the Joker is kind of where it stops with. That one right there is definitely my favorite book of the week. I don't read a lot of DC, but my wife loves Harley Quinn.
Did you get a chance to read it yet?
She's not.
She's been too busy watching Critical Role.
Yeah, she's been watching a lot of Critical Role. But
right.
So yeah, that would be my.
This is your book,
yeah,
right?
That is my book.
These two.
Yeah, those are yours.
All right.
Yeah, I would say definitely, if you get a chance, check this out. Especially if you're a Batman, Joker, Harley fan. Batman only has like one little part in this. He's not the main centralized thing in it.
It's like the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, but you can't have Joker without Batman. You can't have
Sweet.
Harley without Joker. So
all right.
he shows up in there.
Well, we're over time by quite a bit. Next week, Mike Harrison will be joining us again. I don't know if it'll be 3 microphones or whether I might take a sabbatical while I prepare for the Kokomo Con, but I'm sure that there'll be a list and it'll be fun and exciting. So till next time, everybody, be groovy and don't forget to come on down and check out Geek Street. Say bye, Nick.
Bye.